Every video I have to burp. Lord Jesus. Okay. Hi Mom! So today I'm going to be doing something that has been popular in the makeup community recently, and that is the eyeshadow palette tag. This is a tag that was created by Allie, Glines, and Samantha here on YouTube. I'm sure that you have heard of them before you would have ever heard of me because I have like 17 subscribers. I know, she bougie. So all credit goes to them. Basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through palettes that I have picked out in my collection and picking one for each pre-selected category. And I have somewhere in the market of 34 eyeshadow palettes, which I know is excessive, okay? You don't have to tell me that. It's an investment. Looking at you, Mom. I feel you judging me. It's not a lot of eyeshadow palettes for a YouTuber, and I'm a YouTuber now. Okay. I have my little notebook here that tells me every category, so I'm going to be referring to this. So the first category is your newest eyeshadow palette. So the two that I have purchased the most recently are the Focallure Secret Palette and the Focallure Smile Palette. I'll show you the inside of every one that I'm talking about. So this is the inside of the Smile Palette. It's all bright yellow. You can tell this shade right here is beat up. And then the Secret Palette is all green. I got these because I've been watching a lot of YouTubers like Amy Loves Makeup, for example, that are really into independent makeup brands. So they're not owned by like a parent company. They're smaller brands that are more up and coming, and I wanted to try some indie makeup. So I started with Focallure because they're not that expensive, and also I was wanting some yellow and green kind of moments in my collection. I've played with the palettes a little bit. My conclusion so far is that the mattes are better than the shimmers. The shimmers are kind of hard and chunky, and they've kind of got some hard pan on them, but the mattes are really pigmented and they have quite a bit of kick up, but that doesn't really bother me. But the yellows in the Smile palette, some of them actually come off on the eyes really neon, which is actually really, really nice. So yeah, those are the two newest palettes that I have picked up. Number two, category 2, is the oldest palette that you have. So for me, that is this guy. This is the Too Faced Sweet Peach eyeshadow palette. I'll open it up. If you're familiar with makeup, you've probably seen this guy. I've used the ever-living heck out of this shade right here. It smells like peaches. Very classy. We're just sniffing stuff now. Smells like peaches. In case you were wondering. What is that? Is there something on my face? No. Also, if my eyelash could stay in its assigned seat, that would be fantastic. But anyway, the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette is the oldest palette that I have. This is not my very first palette, but this is the only one that I still have from when I was first getting into makeup. I got this when it launched, I believe, in 2016, and I still have it. I got it with a gift card. Shout out to you, Kathy, for that Sephora gift card you got me in 2016. I don't know if you remember it, but I do. So thanks. It's not the greatest quality palette ever. Sheer Warm Neutral palette. I have it. I want to use it more, which is why I keep it. Yeah, that's my oldest palette. So category number 3 is your most expensive eyeshadow palette. So that is the Jeffree Star. I'm going to back up a little. That's the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette. We'll show you the inside. This is an all blue eyeshadow palette. It's my only all blue eyeshadow palette. I actually got this in a Jeffree Star mystery box that I purchased, I believe, around Thanksgiving this year. It is $52. That's the retail value. I didn't actually spend that. I paid probably about that much, or I think $60 for the whole box, and it came with like 2 or 3 other items. So I didn't pay retail value for it. I'm not somebody that has like $129 to spend on the eyeshadow palette. Looking at you, Natasha Denona. I would like to try those someday, but it's just not happening for your girl right now. So $52 is my most expensive palette. As far as the quality goes, I haven't used the palette as much as I probably should because I have a little bit of a fear of blue eyeshadow. Even though I love colorful makeup, blue eyeshadow, there's like this particular blue that is like the Dream Matte Mousse pancake face with blue eyeshadow, shimmery blue eyeshadow all over the lids that we all wore in middle school. That is what your girl is trying to avoid. But I have played with it some. Some of the shades are a little patchy. I don't really have a full thoughts on it. Yeah, that's my most expensive palette. So we are on category number 4, which is the most affordable eyeshadow palette in your collection. And for me, that is this one right here. This is the Profusion Emeralds palette. You can pick this up at Walmart. There's also like a purple one and a red one and a couple of other colors. And let me say, this is $5. This is fantastic. I did a little review of it on my Instagram. Looks by Lily. Kayla, if you want to pop that up. I gave it like an okay review, and that was wrong. Learn from your past mistakes, ladies and gentlemen, because this is fantastic. This is only $5, and I did a swatch earlier because this is my second take taking this video, but I'm gonna swatch my favorite shade in this palette, which is called Radioactive. Look at that. You see that? It's like gold and a little bit green and a little bit pink. It's actually what's on my lids today. My eyeliner is sisters and not twins, so let's keep that in mind. But this is a fantastic palette. It's blendable, it's pigmented, it's got some unique colors. The shimmers are really, really creamy. They're really, really nice. And I love that for $5. Go pick it up. So, our next category is your everyday palette. So that is category number 5. The palettes that I reach for when I'm just in a hurry, those are what I consider my everyday palettes. I have 2. Oh my God, with the burping. I'm geriatric. My everyday eyeshadow palette, number 1 is the Milani Bold Obsessions palette. I'll show you the inside like I have been doing. It's mostly neutrals. They call it Bold Obsessions, but it's really not all that bold. The colors I use the most in here are the neutral browns and then this champagne. I love this champagne color right here. If you're a pale lady and pale colors like this complement you, this is a good one. I don't know if they actually make this anymore. It's good quality. The thing that has me reaching for it the most is that it's a perfect size. It's got a little bit of everything that you might want for an everyday look, just enough to change it up. It's got this wonderful mirror in it. So it's just been so easy for me just to throw this in my bag if I'm traveling, or you could throw it in your purse. It's just really, really easy, so I use it a lot. But I also have a second palette. This is newer to my collection, and this is the BU collection by Sugar Rush, which is an affiliate, not an affiliate, but like Tarte's offshoot brand of Tarte Cosmetics. This is newer to me, but I really love this for every day because you've got some warms. Well, it's all warm, but you've got yellow, orange, brown, and I love doing yellow and gold with neutral looks. And this is a really good quality. These shimmers are kind of flaky, but that doesn't really bother me because it doesn't really have a lot of fallout, and they're pretty creamy to the touch, and they get really foiled on the lid. So I really like these, and I find myself reaching for this a lot for every day too. So Tarte BU palette. Most colorful. That is category number 6. The most colorful palette that I own a lot of colorful eyeshadow palettes because I really like to do colored eyeshadow, but I think what I would consider the most is the Take Me Back to Brazil palette by BH Cosmetics. We'll open this up. See, it's a full rainbow palette. It's got a little bit of everything from the rainbow that you might want. Pinks, yellows, oranges, blues, greens, purples. She's got everything. I like this palette a lot. I find myself reaching for it when I'm doing like creative makeup for my Instagram. If I just need an easy go-to palette that has a little bit of every color, I pick this up. It does have really small pans, as you can see. Not a lot of product in each eyeshadow. That doesn't bother me because I'm probably not going to use up a pan this big of like a bright neon yellow eyeshadow. You know what I'm saying? This is good quality. There's a couple shades that are a little bit hit and miss. Some aren't as good as others, and I really don't like these 3 shades here at the bottom. They don't do it for me. I like this a lot, and it's my most colorful eyeshadow palette. Number 7, and yesterday when I filmed this, I had to figure out how many fingers was 7 fingers. I was in remedial math. Hashtag bad at math. Number 7 is your smallest eyeshadow palette. Little bitty baby. That is the Huda Beauty Obsessions palette. She has a lot of these in a lot of colors, but I have 3 of the original colors. I have the Warm Brown Obsessions, which is what I used in my crease today. I have the Smoky Obsessions, and then I have the Electric Obsessions. I'll show you the insides of these. This is a little baby rainbow palette. Yes, ma'am. The Smoky is probably my most used. She's real beat up. And then we have the Warm Brown Obsessions, which, like I said, I used in my crease today. These are a good quality. They're really easy to travel with. They magnetize, so if you want to bring a bunch of them, That's convenient. I like them. Not much more to say. How many times can I say they have good creamy metallics? How many times can I say that? I don't know. Take a shot every time I say it. Number 8. That's this many fingers. Hashtag bad at math. Number 8 is the biggest palette that's in your collection, and for me, that is this classic right here, and that's the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. If you have been anywhere around the cosmetics block, you know what this is. This is the original version. There's 2 palettes. This is the first one, and then I've also heard from Jen Loves Reviews. She did a video on... I told my husband I was filming, and he decided that he was gonna play music. Hold on. Hold on. Gotta go kick some ass. Had to go yell at my husband. And as I said in the last 2 videos, look, my pants are $8 from Walmart. Neat. Anyway, and I've also heard that the formula on this has changed. So this is the original formula, the one that I believe is vegan, formulated without any carmine. That's what this looks like. I think that this is a good palette, but I kind of tend to prefer a little bit more of a curated color story. Like, I would never take this with me anywhere because it is so big. It's a good palette and I do like it. I think just because it is so big, I don't reach for it all the time. We're almost done. Getting into the end of the video. So number 9 is your best memory. I'm going to talk about 2. The Violet Voss Holy Grail palette. Violet Voss Holy Grail palette. Say that 10 times fast, Jesus. Is the palette that I used on my wedding day. It was one of the first palettes that I ever purchased for myself. And it was right during that time period where like ABH Modern Renaissance came out and everybody was freaking out about the oranges and the reds and those really bright, fiery, warm neutral palettes. And when I saw the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette, I was like, this is me in a palette. Girl, hold the phone. So I bought it and I loved it. It was, to me, the end-all be-all of eyeshadow palettes. Looking back, I don't think it's as good as I thought it was, but at the time I was like, chef's kiss perfection. I used it on my wedding day to my wonderful husband Patrick, which is why it is my best memory. And I did a little bit of a neutral moment, a little bit of a champagne pinky moment on the lid, a little bit of a winged liner, and that palette, even though I don't have it anymore, I decluttered it because it was really junky. It looked like somebody had put it through a paper shredder. Even though I don't have it anymore, it has some great memories attached to it. But I want to talk about one that I do still have, and that is this guy. This is my magnetic palette full of coastal scents and a few ColourPop, a few, I think, Ofra shadows. For a while there, I decided I wanted to be like an actual working makeup artist. Ugh, the burping! I'm losing it. Dear 8 pound, 6 ounce baby Jesus, help me make it through this video. This palette has good memories attached to it because I've only ever done other people's makeup with it, and I enjoy doing other people's makeup. And when you're able to do someone's makeup for a special occasion and make them feel beautiful, it's really, really fun. So I used it rather for my brother's wedding day on his wife, Avery. Shout out to you, girl. Hi, love you. I did her makeup with it. We did a really pretty, I think we kind of went a little plummy neutral. Her makeup turned out really nice. That was a really good memory as well. That's the that on that. Worth the hype. That is category number 10, and I can count to 10 because I'm so smart and I'm achieving all of my dreams. What can I say? Worth the hype. So this is a palette that has gotten a lot of, palette or brand that has gotten a lot of attention in the beauty community, and that I think personally is deserved. So for me, that is my Juvia's Place palettes. I brought out the 2 that I own. I have one smaller one, but it's not a full-size palette, so I just picked up these 2. These are totally worth the hype. The metallics are beautiful. They're so easy to use. The mattes blend. They're pigmented, and I love the branding on these. I'll just show you the cover. This is the Afrique palette. All the Juvia's palettes have these beautiful, beautiful traditional African women on the front. I just love the artwork. I love the colors. It's a very colorful inside palette right there. Some yellows, orange, green, blue. I really have a lot of fun playing with this one. And then I also have the Saharan palette right here, which is a little bit more neutral. and it's got that pretty lady on the front right there. But Juvia's Place is a very popular indie brand. They are now sold at Ulta. I think that Juvia's Place is totally worth the hype. I haven't tried any of their products other than their eyeshadow palettes, but as far as the eyeshadow palettes go, they're affordable. Go pick you one up. Number 11, not worth the hype. Dun dun dun. And for me, we're gonna pull out something familiar. This is the e.l.f. x J Kissa palette. If you haven't watched my very first video that I did, I will link it down below, but it was actually a review on this guy right here. I will show you the inside. It is a beautiful rainbow palette. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but if you watched the review, you know that I did not give it a glowing review. It has a lot of flaws, but a lot of people have really liked it, which I'm happy for J Kissa that a lot of people have liked it. I'm happy for the consumers that they got a palette that they liked, but I just didn't care for it. So for me, it's not worth the hype. Number 12, we only have 2 questions left, and I don't have 12 fingers, so I'm not gonna hold up my fingers. Favorite palette from favorite brand. Okay, so I would not say that I have a favorite brand because I love experimenting with makeup so much that I would not say that there's one brand that I'm gonna go for more than any others. So with that being said, I picked this palette because I have multiple eyeshadow palettes from this brand. I like all of them. I think they're all good quality, so that's kind of why I'm considering it a favorite brand. But that palette for me is going to be the Weekend Festival by BH Cosmetics. This was a summer release a few years ago. I do not believe that you can get this anymore. But the reason that I like this so much is that it's very good quality. It was an affordable eyeshadow palette, but it also is very inspiring to me. This is the color story. You have a few neutrals, some rainbow shadows, a couple of duochromes. I just find it very inspiring. Like I said, I've had it for a few years, but I still find myself wanting to reach for it, trying to create different looks with it, and it's a favorite of mine, and I think I'll have it for a very long time. So yeah. Number 12, no. Numbers are hard. Number 13 is your most used eyeshadow palette. So this is the final question. So I don't technically know which eyeshadow palette I've used the most, but as far as which eyeshadow palette has gotten the most wear and tear, it's definitely gonna be this one. And this is, you can't even read it anymore. This is the Makeup Revolution x Emily Noel The Wants palette. It used to say that, but it is gone. And look at this, ready? Dun, 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 dun. It is in 2 pieces, girl. And is this a cheap palette? Yeah, that's part of it, but also I've used the ever-living heck out of this guy. This is what it looks like. I love this color story. I think that it's a really unique take on a neutral palette, and you can go a warm direction, you can go a cool direction, a true neutral direction, a little bit of green, a little bit of purple. I think she did a really good job with creating a very cohesive palette. And for a while my stuff was in storage and I was moving, this was the only eyeshadow palette that I had. I used it all the time and I felt like I could still get a variety of looks. So that's why I would consider this my most used eyeshadow palette. This video has been 3 takes in the making and we are finally done. Yay! Little confetti cannons for me. We're gonna go back on the hand here. If you liked this video, if you like makeup and comedy and all around tomfoolery, if you like textured skin, dark barking dogs, adult acne, then boo, this is the place for you. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave me a comment down below, but don't be mean or I will cry and my mascara will run and it will be a bad time for all of us. So don't do that. But thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being a friend. I'm not gonna sing it because I will get copyright struck and I have 0 money. But anyway, bye mom.